Hello, Aries, and welcome to my channel. I'm Adriana. I'm a transformational life coach and abundance consultant. Today, Happy New Year, by the way, I have an intuitive reading for you, which I am channeling from my guides. I want to be clear that this is not an individual reading. This is a collective reading. I'm looking at an energy pattern that is unfolding for Aries in front of you today. If you're looking for a more personal reading, I am offering special New Year's readings. You can learn more about that in the description below. There's a link. So let's get started. I wasn't going to talk about this card first, but I do want to mention it. Groundedness, the armadillo. Aries, when you're not taking time to be properly grounded, you're losing some of that sense of protection. If you're feeling unsafe or insecure or at any point, that's a big clue to you that you are ungrounded. And when you're ungrounded, you lose protection, right? You lose awareness because you're not quite sure what's going on. So this card starting off the reading is telling me that whatever's going to unfold in front of you this week, Aries, make sure to stay present to your breath, present with your connection to the earth and your feet, and perhaps needing to take a little more rest than usual. Let's look at your first card. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, message in this card, Aries, for you is to look forward, think forward. We are at the beginning of a new year unfolding, but you are at the beginning of a new energy pattern that's unfolding. And it's important that you look forward because if you look forward, you know where you're going, right? When you're driving a car, you cannot spend all the time looking in the rearview mirror because even though you need to be aware back there, you'll crash into what's in front of you if you're not looking. So this card is telling me there's the need to look forward, see where you're going, perhaps start to create those plans, incremental plans. Plans with incremental steps that you will then start to put in place. But it seems like the amassing of a strategy is really what is being called for at this moment for you, Aries. Okay, let's look at beneficial energy coming in. 9 of Wands, little determination, a little steadfastness. You know, it kind of feels like this is an energy that just won't go away. It keeps dogging your heels, keeps dogging your presence. And this is a good thing because there is something about this energy hanging on to you, clinging around you, that is going to help you create what you're trying to create here. So this card actually can manifest in 2 ways. One way is that this is just a plain beneficial energy that shows up to support you, like a friend or circumstances that just kind of open up to say, stick with it, stay here, you can do this. This can also kind of manifest as a shadow of something that won't leave you alone in not a good way, but it does drive you to make different choices for your future. Let's look at the challenging energy. Princess of Pentacles. While you need to lay out the plan, this energy here is also saying don't get too far ahead of yourself. There's a tendency to want to see immediate results and to see that what you've put in place is working. And if you start to weigh and assess, I don't know what word I'm looking for. I'm looking for surveyor, like someone who takes quantities, who takes who takes collections of quantities. But if you try to analyze, is this working? Is this going in the right direction too soon before it's actually happened? You're going to draw the wrong conclusion. So I am guilty of this in the spring. I like to plant certain things like nasturtiums, and I'm so impatient for them to sprout that a lot of times I'll go in with a spoon and I'll kind of dig around. I'll dig up the seed to see, has it sprouted yet? But it's really not good because nasturtiums do not like to have their roots disturbed. And so when I do that, I'm actually inhibiting the growth process. So same thing here. You want to build your plan. You want to start to understand what your steps are. But if once you're implementing your plan, you start to try to evaluate too quickly, is it working or is it not, then you haven't given the plan enough time to work. Okay, let's get a couple more cards. Continue the Aries message, please. We've got death and then justice. All right, where are you going with this? Okay, you want to calculate whether your plan is working not by the results, but by the amount of transformation you see. In other words, are there any new doors that are opening? Are there any new opportunities? Is this paving the way for a different pattern of behavior from myself or those involved? It's asking you to be careful with how you're judging it. Are you judging it from the results, or are you judging it from the opportunities? To use a business example, sometimes you have to put resources into a business and you may not see the tangible return, but especially when you're starting a business, you want to be looking at the reach, right? How many people is this getting to? How many people are learning about my business? How many people are starting to engage? So in the beginning, you might operate at a loss financially, with the money, but it's actually a gain in a way because of the doors that it has opened, the opportunity, the potential to make more. So that's just one example, but be careful of how you are judging your results. You want to judge in terms of potential and possibility and opportunity, not just the facts on the ground, exactly what's there. There's a time for that, but not at the moment, I believe, because we're still at the beginning stage of this. And I want to bring us back to our little armadillo card. If you see how there's like little plates, they almost remind me of bricks, or like these pyramids in the background, built one brick at a time. This structure, this protective structure, is assembled one scale at a time. There's no skipping scales. So that's the energy you're in, Aries, is one step at a time. But kind of the fun thing is that you get to look at where it could go rather than exactly the return you're getting back. So it's a much more open-ended, creative energy you find yourself in this week. All right, Aries, thank you so much for joining me for your reading. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And please also check out my New Year's readings. These are really amazing readings to set you up spiritually for whatever comes your way this year. I won't go into a lot of detail about this because I made a video on it before, but these are only going to be around for another couple weeks, so I do encourage you to check them out and take advantage of them. Look forward to seeing you next time. Have a good one.